ready to leave for the ferry. We're at the Novotel Ypres Centrum, and we're just packing the car up, as you can see, setting it all up. I'm going to go and pay for the car. The parking here, I can't remember how much it is per night, but I'll put it up on the screen. And basically the machine is down the other end there. The entrance and exit, I believe, is there. That's the way we came in. I'm hoping that's also the way out. I can't see any other ways out, so pretty good. We've had a good stay at the Novotel. It's been pretty good. It's more on the pricey side. It's about 120 euros a night. I'm guessing with taxes and stuff. And but you know, it was the cheapest compared to like the ones closer to the Channel Port. We're leaving round about, what time's it now, Rach? Just gone half past 8, yeah. It's about 8:30. We're trying to make it for the earlier ferry, the 11, I think it's 11:50. Just check the time. No, the 11:20 ferry, but the check-in closes at 10:20. We're booked on the 12:50 from Calais, but we want to get on the 11:20 from Calais and hopefully get into the UK a bit earlier. You're allowed to go 4 hours before your booking. Hopefully that's not like if it's really quiet or something, but we don't know how quiet it will be. So the restaurant was very quiet for breakfast, but I'm thinking because it's so expensive, but it was like 25 euros each for me and Rachel, and the kids were free. Car's all packed up and ready to go, just getting everybody in it, setting up cameras, all that kind of stuff. Not a bad little car park really, actually, in the end. Yeah, we haven't got anyone around us, so it's quite quiet at the moment by the looks of it. I expect there won't be many people coming in because obviously check-in time's not till 3 o'clock, so we can go out. Anyway, so I'm going to go and get the parking paid for. We just thought we'd do it after we started packing up, because especially you don't know how long they're going to give you to get out, do you? So it probably would be fine, but anyway, we just thought it'd be safer to pay once we were ready and set to go. Right, so we're going to get ready, get going. Hopefully the weather's going to be okay, because the camera's been a bit iffy with rain, and there is rain predicted, but it looks sunny out there at the moment. We're hoping we make it to Calais before it rains, and then when we get over to the UK, hopefully the rain has already cleared away, so just need a bit of luck really on that. Anyway, let's crack on. Heading out of, well, not heading out of, we're in the centre of Ypres at the moment, and basically we are trying to find our way out of the place. We've just been past the Menin Gate. Is it the Menin Gate? Is that what it's called? Yeah. Is this one way? I don't know if this is the right way. I don't know. Yeah, it told me to come down here. Yeah, we're not sure. It's all like one-way systems around here, but I'm pretty sure we're on the right road. If you're not like totally awake yet, you might go the wrong way. No, this is the right way. It's the right way. I mean, we came through the Menin Gate yesterday. Is it Menin?
Yeah.
This is the Menin Gate. We came through the Menin Gate yesterday, and then later on they had the ceremony for the last post, and they closed it. And I was thinking, oh, if we come down, would we have been able to get to the hotel? I mean, I'm sure there must be another route, but yeah, we weren't sure really. Okay, so now it's one way up here, got to turn right. But no, it's a lovely little town. I mean, we didn't get to see a lot of it, unfortunately. We saw the gate, we saw the sort of street near it, next to our hotel really, but by the time you'd sort of gone and had a look, we didn't manage to get to like war graves, just because we think they would have been a bit further a walk, and we had to get tea and everything. We didn't. Again, it always happens to us when you say you're going to do something. If you don't arrive early enough, you just, you know, you won't be able to see it all. I mean, you've got to book a day in these places really, like 2 nights hotel. It was the same in Nuremberg, and we managed to see that yesterday and the day before, but only because we booked for 2 nights. The amount of times we booked it and said, oh, we'll go out in the evening and have a quick look around, just never happens by the time you make it there, because you always have delays when traveling, you always have problems, so it's not that easy really to get around. But yeah, it's a nice beautiful morning. It's sunny at the moment. I'm hoping it will stay sunny, because the rain was forecast, so I'm a bit worried about that, because we have had problems with the camera outside the car. You know, a spot of rain's okay, but any kind of heavy rain and that camera will just stop. We just haven't had any luck with it. Another time we drove through heavy rain, never had a problem, but I think it will go off this time if that happens. But it's looking lovely at the morning, but at the moment it's absolutely beautiful. And yeah, we're heading back out of Ypres, I think. It's the A19 that way, but we're not going that way, weirdly. Yeah, so we're heading towards Calais. We're hoping to get on the earlier ferry, which is the 11:20. We've got to be at the place before check-in closes at 10:20. Now we're in a traffic jam. No, I think there's a train crossing up here. Quite like going across train crossings. We've gone quite a few, haven't we, in this trip really. Certainly on the way over, now on the way back to Bulgaria from Bulgaria. But yeah, we just got to wait for this train to cross, and then, in fact, I was using it. Wasn't I doing a Belgium train or whatever? We got given a. We went to like a heritage railway place in Leeds, and they gave us like a free copy of like this train simulator game, and it's great. And yeah, one of the things you do is learn to drive the train, and Belgian train was one of them. So yeah, we're going to head towards the coast really. At the moment we're just waiting to cross the track, but yeah, hopefully we make it for the ferry. we just went into France from Belgium, so we're in France at the moment. We now got a few meters and we're going to be back in, I think we're in Belgium again. We'll come back in, we're going into France again now. That's really bizarre. It's like we were like going in and out of Belgium and France along the road there, I think. Because the thing was saying, oh, 40 meters, oh, you know. So technically we're back in France again. I think we've been here before, this place here, haven't we? To this garage. I think I remember this. I think we were like trying to get French fuel because it was cheaper than Belgium or something, and we popped into there. Do you remember? Yeah, I recognise this place. I definitely recognise. Anyway, yeah, I think on a previous trip we've been, I don't think it was maybe one we filmed, I don't know. But yeah, we're just like, we're in France again now, but we were in Belgium. I don't know if we'll be staying in France. We were in France briefly. I saw a sign for France. So we'd gone into France and then we must have been back in Belgium. But there didn't seem to be any border marking. Now we're back in France. We were sort of skirting along the border there, I think. But it just shows you, you know, here, like, you could be living like in a house, you know, in Belgium, and you just walk across the shop to France, you know, walk across the road and there's the shop and you're in France. And, you know, vice versa, really. And it's quite a nice thing in a way. Yeah, I quite like it. We don't really have that in the UK. And I think even on the Scottish border or the Welsh border, I don't know if there's, like, if it's that, you know, if there's not a big gap between, you know, like rural gap, I don't know. But yeah, definitely here. I mean, maybe there is. Maybe you can tell us, you know, if anybody leave a comment about that, because I don't know. I'd love to see if there is like a border between England and Wales, or, you know, where you can just walk back and forward and to different shops or something. Sounds quite interesting. But I think a lot of it's on motorways and roads, but there's a lot of dead pigeons here, I'll say that. Anyway, yeah, we're just sort of making our way to the port. It's saying we're going to arrive 10 to 10 roundabout, so we're going to have about 30 minutes before the check-in closes. So we're just about kind of, well, it's not just about, but if we have any delays, we'll certainly be worried. We're booked on the next ferry, but, you know, we want to get on the earlier one if we can. And the weather's looking beautiful, and yeah, very bizarre. I don't know if we'll go back into Belgium again. I really don't know. So yeah, I'll be interested if we do. I remember coming to that. I definitely remember that garage up there when we were looking for cheap fuel once. I don't know if it's on a video, but probably not. I don't know if we were videoing. Maybe we weren't videoing at that point. I don't know. But I definitely remember that Q8 place back there. So yeah. Yeah, so yeah, we can crack on. And right, yeah, anyway, we're going to head for the port. I just thought it was a bit interesting that suddenly we were going in and out of the different countries. I'm sure we were going into Belgium, France, all along the line, which is really, really strange, but yeah. And then when I saw the French border, I thought it was going to be the Belgian border. So it was very confusing. I didn't realise we were back in Belgium at that point. But anyway, it must be very confusing for us, but probably even for the locals in some ways. Okay, we're heading on to the port. Calais ferry terminal and we're about to board the ferry, and so far the car has made it. So let's hope that we still make it on. It's a bit cool around here and we're getting almost that steam on the window a bit, not like too much but a little bit, and I sort of think, is that something weird that's happening with the car? I don't know, maybe it's just the temperature's a little bit cooler. It's about 17 degrees, it was 16 earlier, so maybe it's to do with that. But yeah, we're just waiting to board. I mean, the mad thing is the amount of people who you see running back, like the cars are basically, I went down to the thing, went to the toilet, bought some beer, came back, and the car in front of us, basically, then they started to actually go in. And I was thinking I was cutting it fine, do you know what I mean? But the amount of people who don't, like, they're not ready, they're not on time, that, you know, it's a bugbear of mine when people don't get back and get in the car and be ready, because it's like, you wouldn't like it if the person in front of you blocked you in, and I have seen people blocked in and then the other queue go, because they'll go, oh well, we can't board you lot, so we'll board the next line, do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just inefficiency for no reason really. Just, and also, to be honest with you, I bought this beer, I think you can buy it cheaper than Tesco. So it's like, I think in Tesco this beer, or something very similar to it, is cheaper than this. I paid $8.99 for 24 bottles of 250ml bottles, you know, the kind of nice little French bottles, and I think it's cheaper in Tesco. Do you know what I mean? I bought 2 boxes of it, but I think it's that mindset of, oh, it'll be cheaper in Calais, so you buy it. It's a bit of a, yeah, I'm not sure it's cheaper really. I mean, I don't know, maybe some of the things are, I don't know. I saw people buying all sorts. They had like bottles of brandy, bottles of, you know, all sorts basically, mixes, and I'm sure you probably get it cheaper back home. I don't know. But anyway, we are boarding, so that's good, and it feels like everyone is in their car in front because it has moved forward already, so that's a good thing. Yeah, the queue was going right back beyond the line, so I don't know if some people are joining this queue thinking, oh, we know that this line's going to go earlier than what we've been put on. I don't know. You're obviously supposed to go in the lane they put you in, but whether everybody does that, I don't know. But yeah, just now I'll feel safer when I'm on the ferry and sort of, yeah, the girl from the car in front has just come running up the road, so that's how crazy it is. I mean, that's how mad people are, that she's not even ready to go. So he'd walked back to the car, got in the car and actually had started boarding, and she wasn't even ready. What was she going to do? Run on the car? You know, run on the ferry, you know, after him? I mean, it's crazy. How do people, I don't know how some people function. Do you know what I mean? In the world, you know, how do they manage to do everyday tasks without, you know, without something bad happening? Anyway, I mean, she was friendly. She said hello to me when, you know, I'm not, you know, people do make mistakes. I know that. But yeah, it's a bugbear. I like to be sort of on time, you know, and kind of get there when you need to, and, you know, get in that thing and get the beer and get out again. And, you know, we were worried. I mean, Rach, you were going to go toilet, weren't you? And you were like, oh, I didn't have time to go toilet. Do you know what I mean? Like, we thought, oh, I took too long. I went off and went to the toilet, grabbed the beer. Rachel stayed with the car because we got the camera on top, couldn't be bothered to take it down because it's in a good position. She said, I'll go if there's time. I got back, she thought, oh, it's not quite enough time. And we had loads of time really, but everyone else, that's when they started to go to the toilet. You know what I mean? They were like, oh, ferry? Oh, I don't know, am I getting a ferry? Oh yeah, I'm here for a ferry, and I thought I was here to buy expensive booze. Yeah, I don't know, I just find it bizarre, the behaviour. Anyway, the main thing is we're boarding and the car's still moving at the moment, fingers crossed. Touched brush aluminium, massively scratched brush aluminium. And yeah, I don't know what would be, are we meant to have a ticket, Rach? Oh, hang on, maybe it's this bit. I think it's talk about being you know, organised. I think you're supposed to take this bit off and give here's me having a go at people I didn't even know. Now I think you take the bottom bit off. Hi.
Hi there, thanks.
There you go, thank you. Bye. So yeah, they're sort of merging queues as well, so some people are from the other side and they've actually got ahead of us now, even though they were here much later than us, which is annoying. But anyway, you know, I like order. I like, if there's a queue, I like the queue to be, I came here before you, I go on. You came after me, fine, but you go on after me. But anyway, just the way it goes. But they're actually sticking lorries in front of us and everything. But yeah, we're on. That's, you know, we're on our way. That's the main thing. But yeah, I think they're letting some lorries through and then some cars through, I'm guessing. So he's about to stop the, yeah, so she sort of just ran across the woman in the yellow coat had just walked across and like right in front of that truck. It was moving quite fast to my mind, and she wasn't bothered. So transfer case feels a bit iffy again. I'm getting a bit of like resistance and yeah, there's something, definitely something. I was just thinking, oh, this would be really bad timing for that to go now, and then the guys back in Berlin in BMW going, we told you that happened. We didn't know how far you'd get. We said you might not make it. But we don't know that that's what it is. I've no idea, but it's obviously something not quite right there. But what we hope is get onto this ferry, and even, I suppose if you break down on this ferry, maybe the AA can get you at the other end. I don't know. Don't think we'll need our European breakdown cover at least. But yeah, just want to get on and get going now. Then it'll be the rush to go up to the, I guess everyone will be in the restaurant by now, will have taken all the seats and stuff, so. Anyway, we are now on the ferry. And we're just being sort of shepherded to the car does feel a bit, which is the way. So yeah, they're spreading us out. Right, we're on the ferry, just putting all the windows up, turning the car off. We've decided to get some lunch on the ferry, basically just sandwiches, because we took a wrong turn and went to the cafe at the back rather than the restaurant at the front. It doesn't matter, I think it's fine. We've probably had a lot of big meals at lunchtime, haven't we? And we're quite glad to have some sandwiches actually. Although they still charged sort of main meal prices, of course. Rachel has got some sort of, if you lift it up, some sort of falafel. I don't even know what it is yet. Yeah, gluten-free falafel with hummus. I knew you'd go for that, so I went for it. No, that's Emily's.
Yours is here.
The sandwich. I think she's trying to show the sandwich. I've got the fried chicken. Some fried chicken wrap. Sounds good. And the kids have both got chicken and mayonnaise with like some sort of soft spread. So it's about good. Pepsi's, organic apple juice. Can't go wrong really. We might get some tea on the way home. Probably like later in the afternoon, depending on what time we are due to arrive in Doncaster. We're not sure yet because we've set it to here. We don't know, we haven't set it to Doncaster on the other side yet, so when we get on the other side we'll know what time we're going to get back. Probably going to take about 4 or 5 hours, I would have thought. We might actually be in danger of getting back when it's light, which I don't know if we've ever done before. Usually we're half falling asleep by the time we get near to Doncaster, and you're pretty knackered having trying to set off from Nuremberg or Frankfurt, you know, which is quite a long way. So going from Ypres or Ypres was a good idea, I think, and we got to see some stuff, and you know, we got to see the Menin Gate, So yeah, it's been a worthwhile stop, I think, and but we're looking forward to get home today because we've had a long journey, and we're just hoping that there's no dramas with the car still. So far it's been good, but basically fingers crossed still that we make it back safely. Yeah, we're walking around the ship. It's quite rocky at the moment. There was a big like sort of sound of glass sort of rattling around in the shop. It's basically all the bottles hitting the side of their container. So it's a bit of a dodgy crossing, and we haven't got like any park brake at the moment. And I didn't stick the chocks on, thinking, oh, it's just a small trip across to Dover. It'll be largely flat and calm, but anyway, I don't think it's going up and down, it's more going side to side, so that might not be too bad. But yeah, we don't seem to be able to find a way to go outside. I think they might have closed the outside area at the moment, so we're just looking around, but we can't find an exit anywhere, so I don't know. There was the restaurant that we were supposed to go in earlier. I don't know, no, this is the back of the boat, isn't it? That's where we went. Yeah, so this was the cafe area that we went to earlier. We'll go to the front of the boat then. So we'll carry on to the front, but I don't think there's any way to get outside on this boat, or at least it's only a very small area. I saw some people out at the back when we were in the cafe, but I think they went through a door they weren't supposed to. So a lady just actually was speaking to me. I thought she was going to tell me to stop filming, but she didn't. No, she was telling me that there is a way to go out to the back, and it is at the end of the cafe. So we're going to go down the back and see if we can go outside. Yeah, the lady was right, you can get outside this way. It's raining annoyingly, which I'm hoping will stop by the time we get to Dover. A bit windy as well, blowing across this way. Probably better off over here. But yeah, as you can see, the rain's sort of coming down behind. Yeah, we're hoping that rain will clear away by the time we get off the boat, because we've had loads of fun and games with the camera sort of driving. It's been cutting out as soon as it's been raining, really. But yeah, not a bad view out the back. So you can see like the it's not quite the nice summer weather that we've been used to, unfortunately. We're definitely back in the west and back in the northwest of Europe, I suppose. I expect if you're in Spain you wouldn't consider this western weather. But yeah, it's, we're on our way home, and hopefully it basically clears up. But yeah, it's really sort of moving around a bit. I might just try and take a risk of going out there. It's still raining, but it might not be too bad for this camera. As you can see, the truck's down there. And yeah, basically it's moving around here. They've got the trucks like sort of tied down, so you can sort of see they're actually tied down, but they won't have tied down our car, so we won't have that sort of like we won't have that pleasure, unfortunately. So let's just hope, because we haven't got a park brake, and to be honest, we haven't had any issues at any other time. I suppose it just takes that one time where you get a rough crossing, and this is probably one of those times. Just a bit unlucky, I suppose, but It's been mostly side to side. I don't think it's been up and down. So let's just see. I mean, it's an automatic. It should hold itself in place. But yeah, our part brake, you know, we couldn't get it fixed before we left. Normally you stick chocks there, but I kind of thought, it's only a short crossing. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Might be up and down. Not sure. Anyway, I'm just going to follow them back over. There they are. What's going on? There's water down here, Emily, so be careful. Yeah, can't really see much. It's not a picturesque day to look at the sea, really. Anyway, yeah, I guess we'll just be killing time a little bit now until the ship docks, or the ferry, and then we can sort of head on our journey, and hopefully it will be dry when we get to Dover. Okay, we're heading off the boat now. I've for once become organised and I've set the destination and stuff to Doncaster, so we are set. Normally I get off the boat and I'm like, where am I, which way am I going? But hopefully we're all set when we get off. It's a bit steamy again on the steaming up a bit on the windscreen. Don't know if that's anything to do with the car being a bit dodgy. Might just be temperature. But yeah, it's a bit smoky again. It always smokes, this car. When you start it up, you get a big load of smoke, and then leaving the port, not far now. We didn't get pulled over by customs, so that's quite good. Sometimes they pull you in and check your car just randomly. But yeah, we're back in Blighty, so if we break down now we can call the AA and hopefully we would get recovered. Rather than, you know, who knows what would happen in Europe. I'd imagine it's based on the cost of your vehicle and stuff, so at the end of the day, if it costs thousands, they wouldn't really help you, I don't think. Well, you know, it depends. That's what I always find weird. If you've got a really expensive car, they'd help you, but you've paid the same amount of money. You don't really get what difference. They don't get to keep the car at the end, so I don't really know what the thinking is there. But yeah, we're just trying to find our way to the A2. That's where it's sort of, oh no, mine's suggesting we've been sent the wrong way. Basically, yeah, the thing changed. Now we're going up towards the A2, so we're going the wrong way for what this wanted us to do, which is a shame. I don't think it made much difference, like a few minutes in it. In fact, it just changed, it went up by 3 minutes. So we're heading up the road, and yeah, we're going up over the like kind of flyover bit that goes over the port, and yeah, we're trying, like, you know, get on the way. We're not sure what to do yet, whether to go up the A1 or whether to go up the M1. I think the A1 is quicker, to be honest with you, so probably the right thing to do. But yeah, got to remember to drive on the left now. And yeah, I don't know if this is good for your transfer case up this way. But yeah, we're now back in the UK. It's not actually raining, I don't think. It looks a bit like it could rain, or it has been raining. It's got that sort of, you know, almost drizzly look to it, but but I don't think it is actually raining, so we're a bit lucky there. I think we were lucky that the rain had cleared away before we arrived, which is what we were hoping for. There is some spray coming off the cars in front, which I don't think is rain, so we're just going to head up this hill and yeah, get on our way. And I think the next big hurdle will be the Dartford Crossing, so I think we will be going across that. There's not really any benefit to going the other way around the M25, so we'll be going through the Dartford Crossing, which you pay online, so you kind of pay it before midnight the same day, is it, or the next day? So I think, yeah, you've got until midnight the next day, tomorrow, to pay the toll. It's about £2.50, it might be more now, I don't know. But no, we just got to crack on up the road, and yeah, it looks like there's a bit of a queue up here, so a lot of people coming off. Anyway, yeah, we're heading on. It's trying to send us back actually, but I think we can go this way. It's on the M2. Anyway, yeah, it's trying to send us back down the road, which we don't really want to do. Anyway, we're gonna head on and yeah, see what happens. So it was really insistent on us going back down the hill, and so was Google Maps, so we decided to go back down towards the port, and then we're going to head towards the A20. It's a bit annoying because when I got off it was suggesting the A2, it said A2 on it, so I don't know why, but I was like all geared up to go to the A2, and then as we got to the bit where we're supposed to carry on, it said A20, so don't know what that was all about. It's obviously, maybe that's technically the A2 or something on the port road, I really don't know. Anyway, we're going to go back and find the A20. Need to be a bit careful because we don't have loads of fuel, so we might have to try and find a sort of cheap fuel place, but I can't imagine there being any near here. But we can do, well, it's still set to kilometres. We can do about 143 kilometres before we have a problem. So I guess we'll try and go a bit further, then maybe come off the road to get fuel somewhere. Do you know what I mean? But it looks like it's raining a bit here as well, so that's not good. So we're getting closer to the sea again. I don't think it'll be an issue, this sort of rain. I think it's like really heavy rain will shut the camera down. So I think it gets into the USB ports and it causes it to like go into protection. But yeah, I mean it looks pretty bad down this way to be honest with you, but we'll do it. Anyway, so yeah, we're just going to sort of see what we can achieve. just got some fuel at a Tesco in Folkestone, so just come off the motorway for a second there. It's one of those sort of lucky times where there's a Tesco right by the motorway, so really good. And now basically right by the Channel Tunnel, I think, but luckily the Channel Tunnel's the other direction, so I think they would have been a lot slower if we had to go in any queue with people from there. But actually we're now heading on back onto the M20, and we got fuel, so that's that now. Basically we're all set, hopefully. Through the well, the Dartford Crossing, which on this direction going towards the north is basically underground, so it'll be a tunnel rather than the bridge going over the top. Yeah, it's been a nightmare really, because it's been about, I don't know, half an hour to an hour just queuing for this thing. It's crazy because they charge £3.50 and you're sort of thinking it'd probably be nicer just to drive the other way around the M25, because you're probably not going to get too much stoppages that way. We're having problems with the other camera annoyingly as well. The car camera just keeps shutting down, something about the battery, don't really know why. We already had one battery stop working on us, so I'm guessing the batteries are just getting too old, or I don't know, maybe it's the GoPro itself, I don't know. It's a newish GoPro, like a Hero 10, so I don't know. But anyway, we're just about to go through the tunnel now. But yeah, I mean, every time of day that we come here, whether it be lunchtime, morning, afternoon, Sunday, always seems to be busy. I mean, I don't remember it being as busy as this years ago. I don't know if it's a knock-on effect from charging zones and stuff within London, so people are going different routes. I really don't know. All I know is that, you know, people are paying money. They need to get this sort of stuff sorted out, really. Yeah, it's like you're charging more and more money every year. You know, it's £3.50. I remember it being £1, I think. And now, you know, you're getting worse service than what you got when you were paying less money. And it's even queuing in the tunnel. That's how crazy it is now. Just queuing back in the tunnel, and we're worried about overheating. You know, we've had overheating warnings. The heat is coming out. Not on this trip we haven't, but we've had low coolant warnings. You know, and you know that's a risk. You know, we're worried that it's going to overheat. So it's really kicking out hot air. Obviously, the engine's getting really hot, and it's trying to vent that air out through the car. It's going to do that. That's fine. But yeah, crazy. The camera just behaving terribly. I mean, you know, it's just the way it goes. But yeah, we did think about diverting in towards London, but I think there's a ULEZ zone now, and this car's probably not compliant, so we might have to pay some sort of charge, or whether you have to register for it, I don't know. So we just thought, well, we can't take the risk on something like that, so we'll probably get a huge fine. So yeah, so we are heading along the Dartford Crossing in the tunnel. I don't know what this is called. Probably just called the Dartford Tunnel or something. But yeah, we're heading on, and you know, once you get out of here, it should actually speed up, and you know, we'll be on motorway again. But it just seems crazy that they can't somehow organise this better, or at least, you know, make another tunnel. I mean, the amount of money they're getting paid for this, make another tunnel. You know, you can. You know, you're getting a lot of money. You know, you're charging way too much for it anyway. So the thing is, you know, it's just nothing's been done. I mean, this tunnel looks really old, so clearly, you know, they should have been doing something about this years ago, and they haven't. You know what I mean? They haven't improved it even slightly. The only thing they've done is made it a kind of automatic toll now, so where you basically, you have to pay online. So instead of actually putting money in a machine, you pay online. But I remember when they did have the machines, it was actually a lot faster. So, you know, I'm guessing there's more traffic now. But, you know, at the end of the day, they knew there was more traffic coming. There's no excuse. They should have built better facilities. They should have built better roads. They haven't done it. They've just decided to take the money and go, well, we'll do nothing. You know, and we went via Newcastle last time on a ferry because, you know, to be honest, we hate this experience, and we'd rather have an overnight ferry to avoid this. And that's crazy, isn't it? But that's exactly what we did last time. We chose to come back via Newcastle. That's kind of mad. But anyway, we're heading on up the motorway now, and we're probably going to be going the usual route, up through the M11 and then finding the A1 at some point. But anyway, we're on our way, and we'll be cracking on. bad luck has befallen us again. We are not far from Cambridge, I think, heading up the M11, and the other camera is still not working. But hopefully the camera on the roof is working. We did have a spot of rain, but I don't think it was enough to really cause it a problem. But we're trundling along. I don't know, it's still the M11. I think we're probably going on to the A14 or something up here. It's saying there's a 27-minute delay, but you don't really know what it means. Well, this one says 15 minutes remaining, it's red. So I'm guessing there must be another sort of like similar size delay further up, maybe around Peterborough. But yeah, I just don't understand the rules. Like, you know, when is it a quiet time to travel? It's during the day, like during the work day. It doesn't seem to be possible. Maybe you got to go like overnight or something, because that Dartford Crossing and these roads are always busy. I mean, to be honest, this road usually isn't too bad. Normally, once you get off the M25, get onto here, there's minimal problems, but yeah, I don't know, it just seems to be a bit like, well, no time of day is good anymore to travel. And you know, you're better off getting on the boat to Newcastle and just having a nice, you know, time driving back down from there. But of course that costs a lot more money, so kind of got you every which way. But yeah, we're trundling along and making progress. We're thinking of stopping for a toilet break at the next services. It's in about 11 miles, so hopefully there won't be a knock-on where it gets even busier because we're waiting longer. And my foot's killing me actually. Really struggling to like put my foot on the brake because my shin is hurting. I don't know if it's to do with the time that on the way over, I sort of slipped and whacked my shin. I don't think so, but I don't know. I've definitely hurt myself. And yeah, because I had diesel on the side step and I sort of slipped on it and fell down and whacked my shin. And to be honest, you know, it has been okay after that. It was a bit tender for a while, but I don't know if it's like a reoccurrence because of drop in temperature or something. Anyway, may just be all the using the accelerator and the brake. I haven't really been able to use the cruise control very much because of the traffic. So anyway, we are making progress and, you know, hoping to be in Doncaster round about, you know, 10 to 6. we're still making our way to Doncaster. We stopped for some food a bit back in some what looked like quite a new services. Not sure where it was, but it was just after we joined the A1 really. We've had lots of mad things, like the weather kicked on again. Oh, well, the weather tipped down, that's why we turned off, or partly. We were dying to go to the toilet, but we knew the camera wouldn't survive the rain, so we decided to pull off, sort the camera out. We got tipped down on us, got some food, then it had like kind of sunned up again, headed off, rained again, but luckily the camera didn't stop. We've had a diversion around Newark, and I don't know, just today's been mad with like traffic really. Is this normal for a Friday? I don't know, but I don't know what day you're supposed to go that's quiet. But we're about 35 miles from Doncaster, and we've got to get some shopping actually, just like some small supplies, because of course the house won't have anything, because you know, things like milk and stuff won't survive. So we need to get some milk and bread, that kind of stuff. So we're going to make our way to the Tesco in Doncaster, and yeah, that'll probably be where we end this video. We've still got 30 odd miles to go. Hopefully there's no more diversions or slowdowns. I mean, what's really weird was the diversion seemed to take us away from the motorway part of the road, and then it brought us back on after the motorway bit. So I don't know why the motorway bit would have snarled up so much, but who knows. We're now heading on, and we're going to head for the Tesco, and let's hope there's no more delays. we have made it to the Tesco in Doncaster, which completes our journey. I can't remember if we started from here. We probably didn't. We usually do, but I don't think we did. I think we went straight on to Newcastle, I think, from the house, and then I think we started the video in Newcastle when we first left the UK. God knows how long ago now. Not long enough because you know, we've got like shorter holidays at the moment, but anyway, we had a great trip back, and it's nice and sunny. The rain kept away for most of the journey back. We did have some problems with the camera even today, but it wasn't too bad. But yeah, we're back, and yeah, it's been a really nice trip, and good to have made it back without the car breaking down, although we still have to get to the house, so there's still potential. And we saw so many accidents and breakdowns today on the way home. It just seems like some weird day today, because we just had loads of issues. I think, like, you know, there was all sorts of breakdowns and the road being stopped because objects in it, cars broken down, accidents. Anyway, we're going to leave it there. Going to finish the video, and you know, thanks very much for watching along with us and joining us on the trip virtually. And yeah, hopefully it's been useful. I can't imagine that it has been, but yeah, thanks very much for watching. If you could like the videos, that would be great. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be amazing. It really helps us out, because YouTube kind of like promotes you more if people, you know, like and subscribe and that kind of thing. So that would be great if you could do that for us. And thanks very much for watching. We'll see you again in the next one.